welcome to the AJ Awesome Show, a show about my favorite things. My name is AJ and my special guest for this episode is Simon Miller. I hope you like the show!
Hello everybody, I'm here with one of the members of Walt Culture Wrestling, Simon Miller.
How you doing, my friend? You good?
Yes.
Good.
Why did you get involved with wrestling?
Why did I get involved with wrestling? Woof. That is a great question. Well, I was very, very young, probably about your age, and I was flicking through the television channels, and I saw Bret the Hitman Hart, and I thought that his pink and black attire was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my entire life. He then slammed somebody, and I was like, well, that's definitely the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And ever since then, which was a long time ago, I've been utterly hooked on it. And yeah, it was when I got a bit older, I was like, right, how do I make a career out of this? And before I decided to actually, get in the ring and become a wrestler, I thought, hey, I can talk about wrestling. And so I did, and here we are today. And I feel very lucky to do what I do.
You have done a lot of jobs with wrestling as a wrestler, commentator, manager, and YouTuber. Which one do you like the best?
Oh man, that's a difficult. That's like asking me. Well, it's hard to answer because everyone always says this to me. They said, if you had to give one up, which one would you give up? Which is the same kind of question. And I don't know if I could, because I love being in the ring. There's nothing like it. But the feedback and the engagement and the community that you have when you get to do the YouTube stuff is, I mean, it's brilliant. It's so cool. Like I say, like we're doing it right now, right? You get to reach out and chat to people about wrestling and get their opinions. But yeah, I mean, I think because it's still so new, I've only been doing it a few years. I think probably, being a wrestler at the moment is my favorite thing. Mostly because, it's really, really fun. It hurts, but it's really, really fun.
I'm planning on becoming a wrestler whenever I grow up.
That's a good idea. You should. I absolutely support you in your decision, and I promise you, you will love it. It's hard work, but when you get it down and when you get comfortable with all the drills and the cardio and all the craziness you have to do, I guarantee you it will be one of the best things you've ever done. It is brilliant.
Why do you hit your head so much? Like, I watched your debut and you came out slapping your head a lot.
That's a great. I tell you two things. So I started slapping my head in the Y videos on What Culture, and the reason I did it is because I just felt like it needed some kind of an intro. So I was like, okay, well I can go why, here's why, but I felt like something needed to go in between it, and because I am a giant child, I've never grown up, I'm a complete moron. I thought I'll just slap my head. So why slap head? Here's why. Didn't think anything of it, but then I looked in the comments. And everyone was going, did that guy just slap his head? So I thought, okay, well, I'll do it 2 times. And they mentioned it again. So I did it 3 times and 4 times to the point I thought, okay, I'm just going to slap every part of my body. And it became a thing. So when I became a wrestler, I was like, I'll incorporate it into my entrance. And I won't say who it was, but someone who is quite prominent in the wrestling world got in touch with me and said, Miller, there's nothing wrong with slapping your head, but don't do it as much. So you have picked up on something there, AJ. Yeah, when wrestling comes back, at the moment, obviously it's on hiatus, independent-wise. When it comes back, I'm going to slap my head just a little bit less. Just a little bit.
What is your favorite Disney movie and why?
My favorite Disney movie? Well, it's tough. It would either be Aladdin or it would be The Emperor's New Groove, a vastly underrated Disney film that no one ever talks about. I like llamas. Therefore, I gravitate towards The Emperor's New Groove, obviously. Also think it's genuinely really funny. That is under the radar funny stuff. But yeah, in terms of more mainstream movies, Aladdin as a kid was one of my favorite films. I just thought, I just love the genie, right? I think everybody agrees with that. I just love the genie. I thought it was cool. It was a great story. Tying it into wrestling, Jafar, he was an excellent bad guy. You know, you could hate him easily. Aladdin was your underdog good guy. I guess that's probably why. It kind of tied into my sensibilities about why I like wrestling. But yeah, Aladdin is there, but you've always got to give a shout out to The Emperor's New Groove, which is excellent.
How do you feel about the new live-action remake of Aladdin?
Oh, the Aladdin. Oh, no. See, I did go and see that, yeah. I was a little bit trepidatious, a little bit worried, because I was like, you know, that's quite a big thing to try and change. But I actually thought it was all right. It's not as good as the cartoon, but you can never be as good as the original. But I thought Will Smith was quite funny as the genie. You know, I thought he did a good job. And I really liked the guy that played Aladdin. I thought he was really, I thought he was just really nice. He had a nice, he admitted a nice thing. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I saw that, it was in the cinema, I think this year or last year. And I ate a bucket load of ice cream. It was a good day. I had a really good day.
Did you ever get an answer from Sean Spears about being your tag team partner?
Right, as of today, which is the 28th of May, Thursday, 2020, I did not receive a message back from Sean Spears about being his tag team partner. However, the good thing is, right now, he hasn't chosen anybody else. And I annoy him a lot on social media and Twitter. So I'm keeping everything crossed that one day Sean Spears will get in touch with me and I will be his tag team partner. Because I think we'd be great tag team partners. I think we would get on very, very well. And if that doesn't come to fruition, I'm going to go after Cody Rhodes' TNT championship instead. He's doing an open challenge now. They announced that on AEW. I'm essentially going to put myself into as many positions as possible, and we will see what happens.
I was going to ask a question like that, and it was, do you think Cody will let you accept the open challenge for the TNT championship?
I think Cody made it clear. He said it on the show. He said it on Twitter. Anybody. Open for all, I believe, was his exact words. Now, the only issue we do have is that I can't fly to America at the moment because international travel has been stopped. But that will change soon. That will change one day. And if the opportunity presents itself, I will be on the first flight to Jacksonville or wherever AEW may be, and I will challenge Cody Rhodes. Now, I understand that I'll probably lose, but you never get anywhere without trying. So if that's what I got to do, that's what I will do. But yeah, I tweeted him today. I tweeted him today saying, I'm ready, Cody. He probably rolled his eyes, which would have been the correct response. But again, I'm shooting my shot.
What was it like to wrestle in a cave?
Oh, man, the wrestling in the cave. Yeah, for Breed Wrestling, who were located in Sheffield over here in the United Kingdom. It was honestly it was amazing. It was an incredible experience, and I feel so lucky that I got to do it. But also kind of miserable because caves are wet, caves are damp. There's no room to get changed in the cave. So just a bunch of wrestlers kind of shoved into a corner. Over one side of the ring, there was just a big cavernous drop. So we were told, right, don't throw anybody over that side of the ring because we don't know what will happen. And also, when you did get thrown out of the ring on the other side, it was just gravel because you were in a cave. So that hurt like crazy. But I loved that event. It was awesome. Yeah, I was in a 7-way crazy match there. But it was, there were some negatives to it. But the atmosphere, the place was packed out. It was really cool being in that kind of unique venue. No, I dug it. And I would do it again. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
What is your favorite video game?
Oh, my favorite video game. Well, I think my favorite video game ever would be The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which it came out 20 years ago now because I'm quite old. But that would be my favorite ever. And at the moment, what do I like at the moment? Probably the game I've played most over the last couple of years was the God of War remake for the PlayStation 4. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was excellent. I think Kratos is great. So, yeah, that's probably my favorite up there. Otherwise, anything where I can... some kind of role-playing game where I can assume a role, I always get a massive kick out of that. And Gears of War, obviously, a real game. Gears of War.
Do you like Red Dead Redemption 2?
I do like... I tell you this. I love Red Dead Redemption 1 more than that is one of my favorite games ever. I would include that. I also love Red Dead Redemption 2, but sometimes I think it wants you to be a cowboy too much. Like, sometimes you're just doing such meaningless tasks, like changing your hat or shaving your beard. And I'm like, I don't really need to be doing this right now, but I think in terms of a game, I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the most impressive I've ever played. The technical mastery of that whole series and Rockstar in general, yeah, I think it's absolutely amazing.
I actually played the entire game of Red Dead Redemption 2 because my dad got it.
The whole game?
Really yeah.
What did you think about it? Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
It's good, isn't it? Do you want to be a cowboy now? Cowboys are pretty cool.
I don't want to die.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I'm with you. I don't want to die either. It doesn't sound very fun.
How bad did it hurt when Haku punched you?
A lot, which is doubly scary because he only grazed my arm. I somehow managed to get the reflexes of a cat when that happened at the Bullet Club block party. Shout out to Tamatonga. But yeah, he only grazed my arm. Like he just sort of did that. But I had a bruise for 2 weeks. That man is he's a terrifying human being, and I hope I never run into him again because he will probably beat me up again. But again, I love all these experiences. I love the fact that we can have this conversation, and I love that one of the questions is, how much did it hurt when Haku punched you? If you had told me that when I was your age, I would have been like, well, that sounds weird, but you can definitely sign me up for that.
If you could wrestle anybody, who would you pick?
That's a great question. It's a good question. I mean, right now, I think the people that I would be, if I was in the ring and I stared across and I saw my opponent, I think the people that would really blow my mind the most would be Cody Rhodes, because I think he's made such an impression on the wrestling industry the last couple of years. It would blow my mind. Kenny Omega, because I think he's one of the best in-ring people there is. Triple H, because he's a legend. Not officially retired. He may have a couple more matches in him. You don't know. And I think the last one would probably be The Undertaker for exactly that reason. I mean, I don't think that will ever happen in 1,000 years. But to be in the ring, and all other wrestlers say this, to be in the ring and see The Undertaker coming out with that entrance, but being sort of almost part of the show, I think would be the greatest moment of my life. And as an honorable mention, because I know he's been on your show as well, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers, Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens is just brilliant.
Everyone you just mentioned is one of my favorites.
Oh, there we go. You see, we're in tune with each other, AJ. We've got the same kind of a brain.
Do you have any special talents that nobody knows about?
Do I have any special talents that nobody knows about? I mean, I'm in a band, so I play the guitar and I attempt to sing. I wouldn't really call that a secret special talent because there is out there, but people are always surprised. People are always massively surprised when I tell them that. Otherwise, I don't know if I can do anything that's special and secret. That could be something that I need to work on. All of my talents have kind of been thrown out there onto the internet. I mean, whether or not I'm talented is a different question entirely. But no, I think that's something I need to work on. I can tell you, I can't do accents. I've tried to do accents time and time again, and I'm genuinely dreadful at them. So I wouldn't call it that. I think I need more talents. I'll work on it.
Who is Simon Miller, and why should my viewers get to know you?
Well, I am I'm a wrestling YouTuber and a wrestler. And I would say the reason you want to get to know me is that if you are passionate about wrestling, I promise you that I will give you that passion back to you tenfold. I try and be as enthusiastic as I can about WWE, AEW, Impact, all kinds of promotions that are out there. I always look for the best in wrestling. I always look for the positive. I love the serious stuff. I love the dumb stuff. And I just think that wrestling is such a great escape. And it's such a great form of entertainment that the best way to enjoy it is to sort of get a bunch of people around you and have as much fun as possible. And if you can find my stuff and you like it, then, man, I will be your friend forever. So if you want a new friend, that's a great reason to get to know me.
That's the end. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you very much, man. You keep going nuts, dude. I appreciate it.
I would have to give that interview an up.
Yeah. You can give it a golden up. I give you the power. You can give it a golden up. Thanks so much for having me on, AJ. I really enjoyed it.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the AJ Awesome Show. I would like to thank Simon Miller for being my special guest. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.